You're sitting on the couch on a random Tuesday, and your partner says in a perfectly neutral voice, I think I'm going to read in the other room for a bit, or maybe I just need a little space. Nothing is actually wrong. They aren't angry. But within 90 seconds, your chest is tight, your stomach drops, and your brain starts running a high-speed audit of every interaction from the last 3 days, scanning for the exact moment you ruined everything. You know you're supposed to enjoy alone time. You try distracting yourself with a podcast or by cleaning the kitchen for the fourth time this week, but the chest stays tight, and underneath the panic is a quiet, awful refrain. I am too much and I'm going to lose them. If this is where you are right now, understand that your response is biology operating exactly as designed, just at a volume the situation doesn't warrant. This intense reaction is a survival mechanism, not a flaw in your character. To stop the cycle of panic and shame, we have to look underneath the immediate spike. Once you understand the ancient survival machinery that temporarily hijacks your brain, you stop trying to talk yourself out of it and start working with it. Decades of adult attachment research show that biology designates your romantic partner as your primary attachment figure. Your nervous system tracks their availability the way a submarine tracks a vessel on sonar, constantly and entirely without your permission. This diagram shows what happens when they ask for an hour alone. Your conscious mind, here in the cool blue of the prefrontal cortex, hears a simple request for space, but your limbic system, flashing in red, hears a massive existential alarm. The bond is unavailable. At this exact moment, the logical part of your brain goes offline. It doesn't matter that it knows your partner is 12 feet away reading a novel. The older brain, the survival brain, takes complete control, and it only has one job: get the bond back. The circuitry firing when love feels withheld is the same circuitry that fires when a small child can't find their caregiver in a crowded room. Your body is treating a closed bedroom door the way an ancient human would treat a life or death threat to their survival. This is why willpower fails you here. You cannot reason your way out of a biological alarm, and you can't logic yourself into unfeeling the tightness in your chest. You cannot outthink a survival mechanism. The problem is that most of the advice out there treats a partner needing space as a single event. It isn't. There are two very different kinds of pulling away. The first is withdrawal. Your partner is shutting you out in anger or building a wall to keep you from getting close enough to disappoint them. Refueling is a different process entirely. This happens when a loving partner turns inward to prevent overstimulation. They love you, but they lose track of their own interior when they're in sustained contact. Closing the door is simply how they find themselves again, so they can return to you intact. Here is the central neurological blind spot. Your anxious brain cannot tell the difference between these two actions. To your alarm system, a refueling partner and an angry partner produce the exact same data, unavailable. This diagram illustrates a behavioral cycle we call the relentless lover and the reluctant lover. When the panic of abandonment mixes with the shame of feeling like you're too much, it kicks off this exact loop. The relentless lover reaches outward because their body is terrified of losing connection. The reluctant lover retreats inward because things feel intense and they fear exposing their own flaws. Driven by panic, the anxious partner sends a check-in text they swear is casual or clings tighter. The reluctant partner interprets this protest behavior as a sign they are failing, triggering their own fear of inadequacy, so they retreat even further to avoid the disappointment they are sure is coming. The harder the anxious partner reaches to stop the panic, the louder the other person's alarm bell rings. In your desperate attempt to pull them closer, you confirm your own worst fear, actively manufacturing the exact abandonment you are terrified of. Knowing why you spike doesn't stop it from happening. The first move to intercept the cycle is reflexive participation. This means turning your attention completely away from what your partner did and strictly identifying what is happening inside your own body right now. Notice the tightness, name the panic. Because the anxious body is dealing with a physical alarm, it requires a somatic discharge. You have to engage your body with sensation, like walking around the block, cooking, or running warm water over your hands. You have to physically signal to the survival brain that the immediate threat has passed. Once your nervous system is regulated, you can change how you engage when they walk back into the room. Instead of making a critical, panic-driven demand that they prove they love you, you swap in a vulnerability script. It sounds like this. I got scared that I don't matter to you. I know you just needed a quiet evening, and I'm working on staying with that on my own. I just wanted you to know what was happening for me. You own the fear, you acknowledge their healthy need for space, and you confirm that you are regulating yourself. If you want to know for sure whether they were just refueling or actually withdrawing, you look at the re-entry, not the exit. A refueling partner comes back out of the room warm. They reach for you. They ask about your evening. Over months and years, your body needs to register this new evidence. They left, they took space, and they came back warm. The bond held. You physically witness this repeated return, and slowly that experience updates your brain's wiring, turning a blaring existential alarm bell into a quiet, manageable system.